name is Yasmin, and today you're going to join me in story time. Say, do you like making wishes? A lot of people do. If you like to make wishes, then I've got a perfect story for you. It's called Carmela Full of Wishes, and it's by Matt de la Peña and illustrated by Christian Robinson. So, without further ado, Carmela Full of Wishes. Carmela scooted along the uneven dirt path, watching men stoop to work with their hands, her birthday bracelets jingling and jangling. The thick greenhouse air smelled of marigolds and overturned earth and fresh manure. Carmela knew exactly what manure was, but she didn't want to think about that. Not today. Look at how happy she is riding her scooter outside. But I wonder why she isn't thinking about gardening today. Today, she woke to candles in her pancakes, and her mom sang, "Happy birthday to you," and told her, "Go on, mija, make a wish." But Carmela's wish had already come true. She was finally old enough to go with her big brother. Wow, this looks really nice. Very colorful, and I especially love the cake and Carmela, and look how happy Carmela is to have that opportunity to go with her brother, who is old enough and independent. I just hope it goes well. Carmela followed as he cut back onto the street at Freedom Boulevard, past the crowded bus stop and fenced-off repair shop, past the old folks' home, where two hunched old women waved smiles, past the huge home improvement store where her dad used to stand around weekend mornings waiting for work. So this really looks nice, a walk in the neighborhood with your brother, with your independent older brother. Carmela tried to make small talk with her brother as their metal cart rattled, but her brother didn't make small talk back. He didn't want her tagging along. "Too bad," she told him with her glare. Ooh, sometimes siblings have their arguments too. Have you ever had that problem when you want to do something, but he doesn't want to do the same thing? Yeah, I have that a lot sometimes. Just outside the laundromat, she picked a lone dandelion growing among the concrete weeds. She pulled a breath and leaned toward the fuzzy white bulb, but just before she could blow, her brother butted in. "Did you make a wish? You're supposed to make a wish. Everyone knows that." "Of course I made a wish," she told him. But it was a lie. Carmela didn't know. Ooh. Yeah, I heard that when people blow on dandelion weeds, before they blow on dandelion weeds, they always make a wish. Well, next to candles on cakes, of course. I wonder how the laundromat is gonna go. Carmela helped her brother sort colors one-handed, helped him load the washers one item at a time. While their clothes spun, her imagination turned, each new thought ushered in by a jingle of bracelets. Her brother found the sound annoying and shot her a dirty look. "Too bad," she told him with her glare. Yeah. Have you ever thought of something while you were doing your chores or while you were doing something else? Like Carmela? Sometimes I do that a lot. What do you think Carmela is imagining when she's doing all that stuff with her brother? She jingled her bracelets as she rode up to Miss Maria's vegetable stand, imagining a machine built into her bedroom wall, one that would spit out anything she could think of, but mostly candies. Don't you ever love to think about candy? Just think about, look at this papel picado. I think this story is set in Mexico. And this is called the papel picado. And look at that vending machine. It's very beautiful, isn't it? I wonder what she's going to think about in the next one. She jingled her bracelets in line at the locksmith shop. Imagining her mom sleeping in one of those fancy hotel beds she spent all day making for fancy guests. Oh yes, I love spending nights in hotel rooms. Nice beds. I also like spending a day and night in the hotel. Do you like spending time in a hotel? She jingled her bracelets at the bodega down the block from their old apartment building, imagining her dad getting his papers fixed so he could finally be home. So this kind of hints that her dad is away on a job, probably where he isn't getting paid enough. Yeah, my dad is always at work. My dad is always at work, and he always wants to make sure he does a good job. And look at that papel picado with the hug and all. Don't you think that's very lovely? She jingled her bracelets outside the pharmacy, eyeing the shiny new bikes in the window. Her brother stopped in his tracks.
Why do you have to be so annoying?
She thrummed her bracelets at him and said, "It's a free country." Yeah. There they go again. The brother and sister are arguing. So why do you think she's jingling her bracelets a lot? Well, sometimes they jingle the bracelets because they love the sound, and other times the sound can be quite annoying. Like, yeah, sometimes the sound can be quite annoying. I know what that like. People love the sound of jingling bracelets while other people don't. The only time she didn't reach for her bracelets was when her brother ducked into his friend's house. Carmela slumped down on the curb, silently imagining all the things she could turn him into. The slimy pink tail of a rat, a cockroach scurrying away from the light, a wheelbarrow full of manure left in the sun. Think about it. Her brother's bossing her and telling her what to do, and she's thinking angry thoughts like a rat's tail and a cockroach turn him in, the things she could turn him into. I think she must be thinking angry thoughts. She stared down at the dandelion in her hand. It seemed so much more important now that she knew it was a place to put her wishes. What if she made the wrong choice? Oh yeah, sometimes your wishes can get a little worrying. And they also can get a little worrying if they're not properly planned. Don't you ever have that problem? Carmela tried to hop a curb on the long trip home, but her tire caught and her handlebars twisted and she went crashing to the concrete. Ooh, has that ever happened to you? Not looking where you were going and then falling off your bike or scooter or trike, and that would really hurt. Don't cry, don't cry, don't cry. But then she saw her dandelion crushed beside the drain. She looked up at her big brother, warm tears rolling down her cheeks. He lifted up her scooter. You okay? She shook her head and pointed. My wish! Poor Carmela. I wonder what her big brother's gonna do. I hope he'll cheer her up. I hope he'll do something to cheer her up. Don't you? He took her by the arm and led her back up the block, past the laundromat and the flea market, past the greenhouses and the smell of manure, past the overgrown park and across the train tracks. He didn't stop until they made it to an abandoned farmhouse near a cliff overlooking the sea. Close your eyes, he said. I wonder what he's gonna do. This is getting interesting. Here she is, closing her eyes. Carmela closed them. Now make your wish, he said. Carmela listened to the ocean's hum in the distance. She listened to the squawking birds. She listened to the wind whistling past her ears. Yeah, I always like to listen to the beach sounds when I close my eyes. The seagulls, the wind, and the ocean crash. Do you ever hear that sound when you're at the beach? I know I do, and it always makes me peaceful and happy. Now I wonder what surprise her brother is going to bring her. Then she opened her eyes, and she saw hundreds of tiny white spores lifting into the air, floating out toward the far-off surf. Wow, look at all these dandelion seeds and birds. Isn't that a beautiful sight? The sky was full of wishes, or in the case, flying birds and dandelion seeds.
Let's go,
her brother said. Don't you want to know my wish? She said. He shook his head.
If you tell, it won't come true.
She looked back one last time, then took off her bracelets and followed her brother home. The end. So, I think this would be a great use of children's literature. If you're a child with an imagination, this book could be for you. And this book could also teach you a lesson too. And this book could also teach you a lesson too. Sometimes, when your wish goes down the drain, you have a person to help you, and only a person you know you can trust will know your wish and will not tell it to you because it's a surprise. So again, I say, if you like making wishes and having a big imagination, this is the book for you.